Hello? Can you hear me? Is this okay? Okay, cool. You can all look at me. I used to think I had to tell people I was old, but then it dawned on me, you can tell for yourself. Anyhow, I'm kind of an old person. I'm 76 and a half years old. I tell you this because I have no memory. And it's not really all from being old. I mean, I'm a child in the 60s and 70s. I did every drug known to man. So I kind of burned out all my brain cells. And I'm pretty drunk and stoned right now. So I have no memory. So I'm telling you all this because I could never remember my jokes. And it was a big problem, and nobody likes me being up here with my phone or cards. So I'm watching Seth Meyers one night, and I wake up in the morning, and next to my bed it says, I need a Wally. I'm like, I need a Wally? What does that mean? I need a Wally. I walked around all day trying to figure out what it meant. I need a Wally. And then I realized he's got a cue card guy named Wally, and I need a Wally. And I have a young man named Matt who is going to be my Wally. Everybody give him a big hand. I can say I'm old. And when you're old, three things go. The first one, obviously, is your memory. The second one, I don't remember. But there are three things that go. Okay, so let's see. Oh, yeah. So I've been hearing, as a comic, you hear that there are people that love to fuck comics, and they're called chuckle fuckers. And I've been doing comedy now for about 6 years, and I have never had a chuckle fucker approach me. So I'm beginning to wonder if maybe I'm not funny. I don't know. I've been waiting, but anyhow, yeah, you can go on to the next one. Okay. So I'm a boomer. I live in the age of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And I know you all hate us for it, but fuck it, we enjoyed ourselves and we used up all the fun. Sex, the pill was invented. There were no diseases yet. There was no AIDS, there was no herpes. We just fucked as much as we could. I mean, it didn't matter, male, female, everybody experimented. And it was okay. You didn't have to label anybody. They weren't gay or trans or, I don't know, everybody's gender it didn't matter. You just had fun. And now, I think my gender is probably it. Because I really, my days of, I prefer to go solo these days. I have something called Tracy's Dog. Every night, hopefully every night, sometimes she gets mad at me and she won't perform. But I masturbate with her. I used to use the rabbit, which is great if you find a G-spot, but Tracy's dog sucks. So, anyway, sorry. But I've had my share of dicks, I grew up in the 60s. I had a guy, I used to call him Black Beauty because he was hung like a horse. However, I discovered that more than a mouthful is too much. Then I had another guy, I called him the gerbil. He was like, with him, it was like digging a ditch with a teaspoon. My husband was perfect. He was like Goldilocks. He wasn't too big, he wasn't too small, he didn't snore, and he stayed on his side of the bed. What could be more perfect? When he died, I didn't even bother to look. I knew I was never going to find another one. You single women, snoring. Make sure they don't snore, because that could be a big problem in your marriage. I had a father who snored. Oh my God, it almost broke them up a million times. Let's see, I can't read that word for shit. No fake question, no name now, no. Something about maybe needing an eye exam. Okay, but anyway, not that masturbation is a bad thing. I prefer to go solo these days. I mean, I know how to pleasure myself. I know what makes me happy. I don't have to moan and groan and pretend that I'm having a good time. When it's over, I roll over and go to sleep, But it's still exciting because I never know whether I'm going to have an orgasm or a cramp. Lately it's been more of the cramps, but But the other night, I had an epic masturbation session. I mean, it was great. I came, and then I almost went. Anyway, let's see where we are here. Okay, so I live on St. Thomas. I know you're all St. Jonians, and you think of us from St. Thomas, it's a horrible place. I used to live in St. John when it was still cool. Don't throw stuff at me. I lived here in 80 to 82. There were no big condos. Everybody was just peace, love, and it was a beautiful place. I mean, it still is a beautiful place, but it's not as cool as it once was. Anyway, so where was I going with that? I don't know. Let's see. I was, okay. So, I'm in St. Thomas. You don't have this in St. John yet because you're not quite as developed as us, but we have a new BMV, which is fabulous. Our old BMV used to be hot, and you wait forever. You just sit there on these hot benches, waiting for 4 or 5 hours for them to call your name, just dying. We have a new BMV now, and it's brand new, and it's state-of-the-art, and it's air-conditioned, and they text you on your phone when it's your time, and they even let you know 3 times before you that yours is coming up, and it's really terrific. But I have a friend, she's of my age. She worked at the old DMV for 20 years. And in that 20 years, she waited on 8 people. So back to so I was telling you about sex in the 60s and 70s. Well, I was too young in the 60s for sex. 70s was my era. But it's hard to believe that I was too young for anything, right? But anyway, drugs. Oh my God. We did drugs. We did uppers. We did downers. We did booze, my favorite. Coke, grass, everything. And we usually did it all in one night. These days, I'm Googling, is it okay to take Advil and Tylenol together? Which I discovered it is, so now I just grind them up and snort them like the good old days. So let's see, okay, I think you can move on to the next one. Yeah, so like I say, I'm old. Lucas is an ageist. He posted on Facebook that nobody over the age of, I think, 60 should be allowed to drive. I am 76. They are going to have to pull my car keys out of my cold, dead hands. Probably after a fiery crash. But, I'm not stupid. I mean, I took, people tell me constructive criticism. I listen. And I realized that my senses aren't as good as they used to be. I should slow down. So I drive a lot slower now. And I notice things that I never noticed before, like stop signs. It's really a beautiful thing. I had a restaurant for 20 years. I had these old St. Thomian rich women that were owned a million of the different businesses here, and they came down every week for lunch. They called themselves the Bushwhacker Club. They would each have a bushwhacker, for which I was famous. I am actually one of the inventors of the bushwhacker. That's how old I am. The Bushwhacker Club would come down, and I used to go up to the table and say, "Is anything okay?" Yeah, they were a hard bunch. I used to call them, the steel magnolias. These were the iron hibiscus. They were tough. They would send my poor server back and forth 1,000 times. I need this, I need that. But they tipped good, so we put up with them, and they were very nice ladies. Okay, where am I going now? Matt, you're doing great. I'm not. I'm going to just have to step down in a minute because I wrote this one too small. Oh, okay, so yeah, I'm old. I'm 76, which means I have a mushroom that's 51, Ma Brown. She was named after the woman in Jamaica who turned me on to my first mushroom tea. I love Ma Brown. And anyhow, Ma Brown used to be this really cute little purple mushroom with big yellow eyes that peeked out over my, at the time, hard, I don't know, body, my beautiful body. Now, Ma Brown is 51 and she looks like a limp dick. So I'm telling you, to all you young people that have all these tattoos, they don't age well. Anyhow, I think I'm being told I'm getting the boot. So my name is Bonnie.
Give it up for Bonnie Goodman.
Awesome.
Most people don't know she was on the canoe that came out of St. Croix that called Christopher Columbus.